It's time now for Countywide, a special presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. Join Paul David and Brad Miller as they talk with our community's leaders, newsmakers, and people in the know. You'll hear about the hot topics that affect all our lives here in Yavapai County. And now, here's today's Countywide.
Welcome to Countywide. I'm Paul David. Great to have you in studio today. We're going to talk about the Verde Valley Caregivers Coalition with Operations and Mobility Manager Natalia Molina. Welcome to studio.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's been so much fun to talk to you for the last 30 minutes. You're very bubbly and lively. For more information about what we're going to be talking about today, a phone number 204-1238, and then vvcaregivers.org is the website, and they're doing some great stuff here in the Verde Valley, and you have been since when?
Since 1992.
That's right. So why don't you tell us a little bit what Verde Valley Caregivers is all about? Let's start there.
Okay, well, Verde Valley Caregivers, as I stated, was created in 1992. And the mission of the organization is to help seniors live independently in their homes for as long as possible. Now, I want to be very clear in that if you have somebody who needs a lot of personal care, such as bathing or help with making their meals, things of that nature, we don't help that person. That person we would refer to other services.
Okay.
But if, let's take a picture of Mrs. Smith. Mrs. Smith is 85 years old, and she can't drive due to age, and perhaps her doctor even recommended that she shouldn't be driving anymore. But she can still cook and clean and take...
Sharp as a tack.
Yeah, sharp as a tack. That's the type of person that we help.
Okay.
Specifically, we would help them with transportation, as an example. We would take Mrs. Smith to and from grocery shopping and to and from medical appointments. Also, let's take into consideration, say Mrs. Smith is on medication that makes her a little wobbly or she lives alone. Mrs. Smith might also be eligible for our medical alert unit. We call that our guardian angel pendant. And we have a variety of other support services that we can give to Mrs. Smith to help her live independently in her home.
For as long as possible.
For as long as possible.
Right.
And I want to share something with you. Fun fact, at Verde Valley Caregivers, we have 20 people that we take care of, right, that are over the age of 100.
Really? Locally?
Locally. Isn't that amazing?
Kidding. That is amazing.
I mean,
Did you say 20?
20.
20 people.
And that is because of who we are and what we do.
Wow, 20 people over the age of 100.
Oh, yes.
At or over? Or over?
Over.
That's impressive. You left that out when we were talking this at the beginning here. You
Right.
did. How did the Verde Valley Caregivers come about? How did this idea come about?
The idea came about, again, in the 90s by a group of concerned local citizens and church leadership that decided we really need to take care of our seniors. We need a safety net. One of the leadership churches that helped found Verde Valley Caregivers is actually Church of the Red Rocks in Sedona, Arizona. They also they applied for a grant from the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation called Faith in Action. They received the grant, and when the organization started in 1992, the organization helped approximately 80 neighbors with the help of 50 volunteers. Okay, 1992, 80 neighbors, 50 volunteers.
And the neighbors are the elderly folks, the senior citizens that we're helping.
Elderly folks,
okay,
yes.
We're calling them neighbors, okay.
Mm-hmm. And then in 2014, today, we have a core of approximately 300 volunteers helping over 1,000 neighbors in the Verde Valley area.
Wow.
Now, when I say Verde Valley area, we're talking the whole kit and caboodle here.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking Sedona, Clarkdale, Cornville,
Beaver Creek, Monas and Marimrock.
That whole area there.
Okay.
We have one person that we serve in Jerome. Did I mention Cottonwood? No, I don't think I mentioned
Village of Oak Creek?
Village of Oak Creek.
Camp Verde.
Camp Verde, that entire
Parkdale.
area we serve.
Okay, the whole Verde Valley hub and Sedona and the Village of Oak Creek.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big area. It's over 1,000 people.
Over 1,000 people. Now, I also want to say that that number can ebb and flow. In other words, Mrs. Smith, for example, may be doing very well, and she may decide, you know what, I don't think I need your services anymore. Thank you very much. So then that number 1,000 will turn into 999. Or that person may pass away due to natural causes, or they may move to maybe the Phoenix area or move with their family. So that number is an organic number. The number that I give you is point in time, but it can grow and it can decrease.
Of course, of course. Now, you go and help with the rides to the medical appointments.
Yes.
And the grocery store, maybe to Walmart to do some shopping, things like that. I imagine a lot of these folks, it's the highlight of their week, to have something to go do other than being in their house.
Yes.
What about just going and sitting down and visiting? Playing a game? Or
yes,
yeah, is that part of it?
That is also part of it. We do friendly phone calls. We do friendly visiting. We also do light, handy person help. And when I say light, I don't want people...
Yeah, what does that mean?
That means that, say Mr. or Mrs. Smith, they can't change the light bulb in their bathroom because it's up too high and they really shouldn't be on a stepladder anymore.
Right.
We help with that.
Okay.
If you have a creaky door, or the closet doors are just not level anymore, we help with that as well. So light, handy person help. Now, if somebody needs help with something greater than that, say you have a leaky roof, or something is wrong with the heating or air conditioning system or the swamp cooler, that doesn't mean we won't help. We're not equipped to help with that directly, but one of the other things that Verde Valley Caregivers does is we refer to organizations that may be able to help you. For example, we have a wonderful relationship with an organization called Amigos of the Verde Valley. They just had, I don't know if you're familiar with it, a very successful cleanup event.
I just did a story for them.
There you go.
Yes.
Very successful cleanup event. And that is work that we Verde Valley Caregivers don't do traditionally, but we partner with them and we refer to them and we support their efforts.
It's funny that you bring them up because we were also talking about that we've been doing a lot of wildfire shows in defensible space, and the elderly folks can't get out there to do it.
That's right.
And then these folks come along and say, well, if you meet this criteria, we'll come out and we'll do it for you. So
exactly.
I've got the story on the air right now, so we'll continue to run that this week and then over the weekend too, so folks will catch up on that. Let's take our first break, okay?
That's fine.
Natalia Molina is in studio today. She's with the Verde Valley Caregivers Coalition. The number there, 204-1238 or vvcaregivers.org. I'm Paul David, countywide, back in just a couple minutes.
A single ember from a wildfire can travel over a mile. That ember can ignite and destroy your home or community. You can't control where that ember will land. Only what happens before it does. Visit fireadapted.org to learn how you can help protect your community from wildfires.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
Know what?
What?
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg. It's like in the movies.
That's awesome. Looks like we're going to be hanging out a little bit more.
Look at me. Hey.
Raymond, look at Mommy.
Maybe the light hurts his eyes.
Maybe she's just not hungry. Maybe he can't hear us. Maybe we're not stimulating him enough. Maybe it's a phase.
Avoiding eye contact is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
Welcome back to County-Wide. Natalia Molina from the Verde Valley Caregivers Coalition in studio today. Real quick, the website again is vvcaregivers.org and the phone number is 204-1238. Volunteers are always needed, desperately needed, especially in the Cottonwood area. You were telling me prior to the show, so we want to make sure we talk about that. Volunteer, volunteer, volunteer. Number again, 204-1238 or vvcaregivers.org. If you like what we're talking about today, then yeah, definitely sign up to volunteer. We want to jump into this because we got a lot to cover still. Older Americans Month is when?
May.
We're currently in it.
We are in the thick of Older Americans Month.
Okay, we are in the thick of it.
And historically, I think this is really exciting, especially because Kennedy was one of my favorite presidents that I studied as an undergraduate political science major. In 1963, Kennedy decided to recognize the significance of older Americans in this country. Originally, it was coined as Senior Citizens Month.
Oh.
And then it wasn't until the 1980s that another one of my favorite presidents, Carter, he designated May as Older Americans Month. And every year they have a different theme for Older Americans Month. 2014's theme is Safe Today, Healthy Tomorrow.
Oh.
And it dovetails very beautifully into what Verde Valley Caregivers is and what they do, because we really care about our senior citizens and we want them to live safely and healthily as much as possible. Okay? I'd like to get into some of the services that we offer just to reiterate who we are and what we do.
That's what you're here for.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mentioned the transportation to and from medical appointments and to and from food shopping. We also do the medical alert units.
Yes, Guardian Angel.
The Guardian Angel.
We should probably hit that one because that's an important one, I think.
It's really, really important. I can say, going back to recruiting volunteers and the critical need that we have in the Cottonwood area, let me throw out some numbers. In the Cottonwood area, we have approximately 500 neighbors. These are people that are actively using our services. Out of those 500, half of them, so about 250, have the medical alert units. These are the most vulnerable neighbors because they are at a fall risk. And as you know, probably from your family or stories that you've heard, when a senior falls and something happens to their hip or their pelvis, the recovery time is very, very critical.
Yeah.
And many times we see a decline in health due to that. We're trying to prevent that from happening, or at least alerting people as quickly as we can with those medical alert units. Okay, let me go back to those figures. 500 in Cottonwood, approximately, 250 of the units. We have approximately 60 volunteers in the Cottonwood area. It is critical that if you're interested in volunteering, please call us 204-1238. It's a great organization. You can volunteer as little or as much as you like, and 1 hour a month can make such a difference in the life of a senior.
If I have one of these Guardian Angel pendants on, I fall, I push it, what does it do? What happens?
What it does, and I want to be very clear that this only works within 400 feet of your home. So you have to be wearing it at home. It is also water resistant, so if you were taking a shower, you can wear it there too.
Slip and fall, okay, that's
and fall.
smart.
It's
okay.
very important. So you push the button, okay. Prior to you pushing the button, we would have come to your home and programmed up to 4 phone numbers in that alert unit.
Okay.
So you push it, it will call the 4 people that you designate in that medical alert unit. It can contact first responders, it can contact your primary care physician, it can contact and call your son or daughter or family member or neighbor that is in the vicinity or out of state.
Okay.
So it's helped a number of people, and it's a very essential tool. And I don't know if I underscored this before, but all of our services are free. We graciously accept donations, but all the services are free. Why? Because it's the right thing to do. We should not be discriminating upon the basis of finances. And what we have found is that some of our more affluent neighbors, they give and they donate. And we are graciously supported by Verde Valley Medical Center, the Arizona Department of Transportation, as well as other grant and foundation sources. So it all works out in the end. Another program I wanted to highlight, really, it's a beautiful program. It's very, very successful. It's called the Transitions Care Program.
Okay.
What does that mean? In partnership with Verde Valley Medical Center, when a patient is at the point of discharge at the hospital, there is a team of social workers at Verde Valley Medical Center that contacts our nurses. We have a team of 4 nurses at Verde Valley Caregivers that are contacted, engaged, and meet the patient, Mr. Brown, at bedside. Mr. Brown, we see that you are being discharged for hip replacement surgery. Will you need support at home? Do you have somebody to help you with groceries? How's about getting back to your rehab appointments? Do you need help with that? Yes, I will need help with that. For 30 days after discharge, this team of nurses and volunteers, transition care volunteers, it's a group of 12 of them, they help that patient with follow-up appointments, grocery shopping, whatever they need, so that they have a successful recovery.
That'll help with the recovery too. Just because you know that you're going to have that help and you're going to be able to do those things, that's one less stress to have on your life.
Absolutely.
Right.
And we have also discovered that the readmission rate of these patients, usually they're Medicare patients, back to the hospital, due to our intervention, has decreased significantly across the country. Readmission rates for Medicare patients, the norm is between 16 to 20% due to our intervention of the Transitions Care Team. 2% or under.
Nice.
It's amazing.
Can you, before we take our break, we've got a minute before we take another break, can you tell me real quick about the Pets Count 2 program?
Exciting program.
Okay, there you go.
Many thanks to the Banfield Foundation for their grant of approximately $10,000.
Nice.
What they have realized is pets are very significant in the life of seniors.
They are.
And so, in order to help some of our seniors who may be declining in their own health, hence the health of the pet might be declining too, we have these funds to help with pet walking, grooming, veterinary assistance, dental assistance, whatever Fido the dog or cat needs, we're there to help.
That's amazing.
We're very excited about it.
We have to take our break now, but
Sure.
you need volunteers, especially in the Cottonwood area. So
Yes.
vvcaregivers.org is the website. Number is 204-1238. We're talking Verde Valley Caregivers Coalition. Stick around, countywide, back in just a couple minutes.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
Know what?
What?
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg. It's like in the movies.
That's awesome. Looks like we're going to be hanging out a little bit more.
One of the areas still maturing in an adolescent brain is the prefrontal cortex. So when we take drugs, we alter key motivational circuits, changing the wiring needed for the cognitive function of the brain. Until we can't totally deal with things like memory, thinking things out, and even learning stuff.
The signs are there. So is our help. Visit the partnership at drugfree.org for practical advice on coping with teen drug use.
When you're out there, there's no telling what you'll find.
I see it! I see it! Oh, look at you.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to Countywide. We've got just a couple minutes left in the program. 204-1238 is the number, and vvcaregivers.org is the website. Now let's go back to the volunteers. If I'm a volunteer, how much time am I going to be putting into this? Well, and what am I going to be able to handle in my comfort zone? I mean, is that something that is in play here too?
Oh yes, absolutely. Now the neat thing about volunteering with our organization is you volunteer as little or as much as you like. In other words, if you tell me, you know, I'm really, really busy, but I'd really like to donate some of my time to do this because I believe in the cause. If you have an hour, just the last Friday of the month, I can put you into the computer. And if there's a need on that Friday at that time slot, we can call you up for that. If you have more time, say every Monday in the morning, we can use you for that. Mm-hmm. But as I had expressed before, just an hour of your time makes such a big difference in the life of a senior. Taking them to that supermarket, especially in an area where that we don't necessarily have the strongest public transportation system, it just makes such a huge difference. Now, about the volunteer application process. There is an orientation, and I usually conduct the orientations one-on-one, where I tell you a little bit about the history of the organization. We do take some information on you. There is a confidentiality application, and we also run, this is very important, background checks on everyone to make sure that everyone is safe and has no criminal history.
That's good. That's good. All right. Well, that's pretty simple. And then you did mention prior to us doing the show is that, and we're just about out of time here, but the summer months are real critical for you because, you know, a lot of the volunteers are, you know, doing what everybody does during the summer months. You're taking vacations or visiting family or whatever. Right. But I would imagine summer and the holidays are pretty important right now. Absolutely. To volunteers.
And if someone is interested in doing anything that we offer or might be interested in doing something a little bit different, let's have that conversation. I have someone who is an artist who wasn't necessarily interested in the menu of things that I presented to her, so she creates gift bags, handcrafted gift bags that we give to our neighbors. Nice. It's beautiful, and she's contributing to the community. So our volunteer opportunities, real quickly, we have our call center, so if you're good on the phones and in an office environment, we have that. We need installers for the Guardian Angel unit. We always need drivers. We need people to serve on the care transitions team with the nurses. And we always need volunteers in the thrift store as well.
All right, thrift stores in Sedona on Jordan Road in Uptown. So keep that in mind. Now, all this information on the website. We're out of time.
No problem.
Very nice meeting you.
Thank you so much
for coming in. Natalia Molina, vvcaregivers.org is the website. Again, the phone number 204-1238. That's today's Countywide. I'll talk to you again next time.